Hello everybody, we are talking about some very important news today regarding the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL landscape, as the Toronto Argonauts starter McLeod Bethel-Thompson has reportedly left the CFL to sign a contract with the USFL. What exactly is going on, and what does this mean not only for Toronto but for the CFL all around? So this is something that I actually saw right when I got off work. I haven't had the chance to put together a lot of notes because I just got back from work and started doing videos, but this is big because you're looking at Toronto and they have a very experienced guy in the likes of McLeod Bethel-Thompson basically breaking the news. He probably broke it to them earlier, but it seems like he posted on Instagram that he was headed south of the border to sign a deal with the United States Football League, which of course is an upstart league. I think their first season was last year. This is big news for the Argos because McLeod has really been their starter for 3 years now, and you really actually could say 4 since the 2018 season, and has, had some pretty good results. I'd say the best year for him probably came in 2019, had the 26 touchdown, 13 interception season, but that was statistically. In terms of what they've been able to do the past 2 years, though, this was big for his team. Toronto was 4-14, the 2018 and 19 seasons, but then in 2021 they went 9-5, won the East and had the best record, of course, and would end up getting knocked out by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and they're hoping to play in the Grey Cup. But then this past year, in the second season under Ryan Didwitty, the Argos ended up playing pretty well. They went 11-7, one of their best records in like a decade and a half, I think. Went on to, of course, win the Grey Cup. So this was partially attributed, I think, even though it's a team game, to McLeod Bethel-Thompson, a guy that maybe doesn't put up the biggest numbers, and I myself has been a critic of what he would be able to do. Would he be able to get Toronto over the hump? And there's kind of some talk there. But one thing I can tell you is this is a guy that has seen a lot of snaps, played a lot of games, 74 career CFL games, and over 1,600 passing attempts, 13,000 plus yards, 70 touchdowns, and about 50 interceptions. I think the biggest knock on him was he could have some really quiet games or some really bad games. But the thing was, the past 2 years especially, he was a leveling presence to a squad that had a lot of talent, and they were a club that was, of course, able to win a title. What does this mean for Toronto now that he is gone? First off, they don't have the guy that's been their starter for the past 4 seasons. That's big. Of course, any team losing a starter that they feel comfortable having for multiple years in a row is going to be a loss, not only for the team on the field, but in the locker room. Who is going to replace him? At the moment, it looks like Chad Kelly. And we all know Chad Kelly for his Grey Cup heroics and what he was able to do there, but he's really inexperienced in our league. He actually only has, I believe it's 45. He has 45 regular season passing attempts in his career in the CFL, and he's still young. He's 28 years old, but he's shown that in the limited capacity that I guess he could thrive. Of course, some of those snaps came against Montreal when they had their backups in for the final game of the regular season, but right now he's the guy. So you're looking at Toronto and you see they have a very experienced guy leave and a very inexperienced guy come in. Yes, he's younger, so that is good, but I think they were hoping that they could kind of give him a little bit more snaps this year, but if they ideally could have a veteran, maybe they could be the starter. That's out the window, at least for right now. What are some things that they could do exactly? I think Dane Evans is out there. Hamilton still got him on the roster from as far as I can tell. Maybe you have him come on out. Maybe you could see exactly if they could tweak the contract a little bit there with Hamilton. It'd be a weird deal to see Toronto and Hamilton make a trade, but it's you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours in this kind of situation where the Ticats already have their quarterback in Levi Mitchell and Matthew Schultz as their backup. I don't exactly know, but what I do know is for Toronto, this makes them a lot more unpredictable this year. What does that mean in the CFL world? It means that the defending Grey Cup champions might not be there in the big game to defend their crown. It also means that the East might have just got a little bit more interesting. Teams like Ottawa, especially with the healthy Jeremiah Mazzoli, they made some moves. They got it in guys like Shaq Evans. I think they got Javon Santos-Knox, some other guys there. They're looking to be much improved. They looked like they could be last year before Mazzoli went down. Played some tight games against the Blue Bombers. Hamilton Tiger Cats, arguably the most improved team of the offseason. They're looking to go from 8-10 to, maybe 11 wins or more. I don't know. The Montreal Alouettes look like maybe they take a step back a bit, but they do have, Cody Fajardo. They've got Phil Pott. They've got Reggie White Jr. They've got Julian Grant, stuff like that. Of course, they've got William Stanback. They could be a threat. I really can't tell you. But as of right now, Toronto, while they are a good team, have made a lot of moves. I did say in my free agency recap, Toronto retained a lot of talent, but they did not address the quarterback situation, and that means that they'd probably have to rely on Chad Kelly. We're living in that world right now, and that very well could mean that maybe they missed the playoffs. I don't know. This team is still pretty well rounded. Of course, on top of that, you're looking out west. It's not as big of a deal, but they might be licking their lips a little bit here, though, because in recent years, the East has not been great, and maybe they're like, the East is better this year, but if the Argos struggle with Kelly and they play them a few times, that could be nice for them. All around, though, I think it just makes the league more interesting, and I really am hoping for Kelly that he is able to come on in and thrive, but I will say if Toronto struggles early on, they might have to make a move, and it might have to be a guy like Dane Evans. I really don't know, but still, very shocking, especially because the USFL can offer the money we can. I don't exactly know what's going on with MBT. Maybe he wanted to get back into the States. I really can't tell you. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new for more CFL content. Everybody stay safe and have a great night.